Run that back, turbo. Run that back, turbo.
This is Keeping Up with Campus.
Alright, so as you know, we have some good topics for y'all. So today's topic is going to be about relationships. Not just girlfriend and boyfriends, we're talking parents, friendships, all that. All of it. Because relationships are very important and they can make and break you in college. Period. So we're going to start on our left side here and just see how y'all feel about it. Left side. Left side.
Left side. My left.
Left side of me.
Far left.
Okay. Question was again, how do you, Miss Rachel Gary, feel about relationships?
Relationships are very touchy. It depends on the person. All people, you know, me and my father don't have the greatest relationship, but that's my dog. It just hurt. You know, it has to hurt. Friendships are important. I have a best friend I've been with for about 9 years now. That's my girl. We don't talk every day, but we touch bases every now and then because we're both busy. And I'm in a relationship now with my boyfriend, and everything is good because we have a relationship with God. Period.
And you, nephew?
Me and my dad is real close. Me and my mom is not so close. I feel like friendships is important. You need that somebody to talk to all the time. Well, not all the time, but when you need them, when you down, you need a smile. You need that friend. I'm single. You don't need no other. If you got a best friend or a friend, you don't need no, relationship.
Chickadee doo-wops.
Yeah.
Right, because I had a little stress.
But
Adrian,
For me,
talk about friendships and relationships.
Let's hear it from you.
I don't have parents, for real. So my aunt and my grandma, those are my big relationships in life. But they got their own families. So like, I'm not their biggest priority because I'm not their child. So like, I really long for and rely on my friendships with my friends. Teammates and people like that, they kind of all I got, low key. It's me, you know? So for me, in college, that's kind of how I get by with my friends. Their help and my papa, shout out to you. And yeah, God, God is the biggest relationship that y'all really
He is
need.
the tie holder of all relationships.
Like I said before in some past videos, these boys, they gonna be here, they gonna come and go, they gonna try to sell you the world. It's up to you if you buy into it or not, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. Because I done
They
fell
ain't
in
gonna
some
get it.
holes.
Them situations
you
are
don't
not
fall in the
relationships.
hole.
And you might drown, but you gotta pull yourself out.
Gotta submerge.
By yourself, not
Come
with
on.
no man or female.
Come on. So me.
Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
yeah, that's on you.
Well, I feel like relationships are important because me and my mom, we real close, and she do everything for me. Like, she even bought me a nice coat one time. Like, you see, it's a coat right up there. Like, it's cold out here. I ain't have not one coat down here. She was willing to spend her last for me. Like, my dad, I know him and I used to talk to him, but he don't, since I graduated high school, I haven't talked to him. So, like, for me to just be how I am, like, that's why I be so hard on people because I don't have a dad, like, and he don't never, like, I want to cuss. I was about to cuss, but I can't cuss, though. But he don't do nothing, though, like, and I just be seeing my mom, me and my little brother, now that I'm here, she got to worry about me still and my little brother. And friendships, me and this man right here argue every day, all that, but he my brother, though. Like, I treat him like my brother, though. Like, I be mad at him, though, but this my guy right here, though. So, yeah.
Nephew,
We
we need to hug.
Hold on, I'm still talking, though. Like, it be times when I want to drop out, though. He say, no, Keith, you ain't dropping out. I be like, no, this ain't for me. He be like, Keith, bro, I'm not letting you drop out. That's the type of friends you need to to like push you to stay and keep doing stuff. Cause if it wasn't for him, I was gonna drop out. After Thanksgiving break, I was not coming back. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If it wasn't for him telling me that he gonna help me get through this, I was gonna drop out. I'm gonna just be 100 with y'all. But that's what friendships and relationships mean to me, though. That's that.
Oh my God! As
Y'all
y'all
don't
can see,
understand, cause they was
they was really about to fight before
into
this.
it. Like,
As y'all can see, Bosses in Action is a real family. And we gonna cut into a commercial, and then after this, we gonna have our guests. We gonna have our guests star on the show. Okay.
I can't.
Live. Alright, guys. That was a great commercial, you know. As you see, those segments were great, but as you see, we got somebody else sitting on the couch with us today.
Oh, who
To
is
the right, who are
this?
you?
Hi, my name is P.Nathaniel.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you.
Hey.
And
nice
what
to meet you all as well.
organization? What organization are you a part of? What do you do with Kampus?
I'm a part of Black to Fire Modeling Troupe
Okay.
and the Central State University Chorus.
Okay, and the Central State University
Okay.
Chorus.
You
Which
heard it.
I was a part of.
Okay, well, how do you like being active on campus? How has that helped you in your college career?
It's helped me be able to be present within business meetings as well as network amongst my peers and within business circles outside of my university.
Okay. And those organizations that you're a part of, do you consider yourself like a family within them? Like how do you value your relationships with the people in your org?
We're a family. Black to Fire Modeling Troupe, we pride ourselves on always working in sync. And that goes also for the university chorus. I mean, we were Grammy nominated.
Oh yeah, they were Grammy nominated. That's sweet. But okay, so Boston in Action, we're a new group coming up, trying to be an organization soon. So do you have any tips on getting us closer as a family and just working together? Do you have any tips that can help us out?
During your community service hours, make sure that you all plan to have people that don't know each other work with each other in a team and then like do the activity that they're supposed to do. So if you're gonna clean up a large land space, send two people that don't usually talk to each other with each other into a certain area to clean up. That helps with people getting to know each other
I like the idea.
and it just works overall.
That's pretty dope. So do you have any events for Black to Fire coming up that you would like to tell us about or anything within the choir?
The university chorus is going to be having our album release party
Woo-woo!
November the 17th, 2018.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
I was about
That's
to do a
dope.
call, but it's gonna be awkward.
It's never awkward when you do it.
Go ahead.
Quit playing.
Come on, Rachel.
No, y'all
Let's hear it.
serious.
You gotta do it now. Don't y'all want to hear it, nephews?
I want to hear it. I ain't never heard it.
Me either.
Don't y'all want to hear it? Come
They
on.
do.
We not
In
gonna
five,
look, we not gonna look at you.
4,
No, I'm not about to do it.
2, 1.
Anyway,
That's crazy. All right, so it was nice having you on the show. I'm glad to meet you. Now, whenever I see you, better speak, recognize us. Boston Action, we're coming up, okay?
Okay, bosses in action.
We are on the
See you
arrival.
on campus.
Thanks for sitting on our couch, and after the break, we'll be back at you with some more topics.
What's the word, you all? I'm back with another one. I went back to the Lord and asked him what would he have me to say to his people again. And he directed me to reiterate some of the points that I gave in the last sermon that I preached at my home church. First of all, to those from Chicago watching this, shout out to the New Faith Missionary Baptist Church, where I go to church my entire life. I've been going there for 20 years. the New Faith Missionary Baptist Church on 8400 South Halsted Street. If you're in Chicago, I highly recommend that you stop by, especially when I'm in town. I'd like to see you there. But the last sermon that I preached came from the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4, verses 16 through 26. 10 verses, and it is a very interesting story of this woman who was serving this man of God, and every time he would come to the city, she would allow him to stay at her house, and so that he could rest and everything. So he asked her what could he do for her, and she didn't want anything from him, but his servant noticed that her and her husband had no children, so he told her that she was going to conceive a child. And she was not expected to conceive children. She didn't even believe it when he said it. But sure enough, a year later, she had a child. And a few years later, after she had that child died. And so it was everything that she had ever wanted. It was a miracle child. It was something that she had really always wanted in her life. And it had died. So she takes the child upstairs and she puts him in the room. And she closes the door and locks the door, and she goes down to tell her husband, I need to go see the man of God. Now, he asks her, why do you need to go and see him? And she tells him, it is well, it shall be well. I just need to go and see him. She never told him that our son is dead. She never told him all the other things that was going on. She just simply said, it shall be well. And shall is a very interesting word because shall means that it's guaranteed to happen. So she had this faith that it shall be well, even though our child is dead. And so the title of this sermon was called Because I Said So when I preached it I don't know how long ago, about a year ago, I don't know. But when she speaks to her husband, she says it shall be well. She goes and she tells the person that she's riding with, just keep going all the way till you get to the man of God's house. Don't stop for anything. Don't slow down. Keep going. She had this faith that she had to go and see this man of God. She runs into the servant of the man of God and she tells him, it shall be well. I have nothing to say to you. I need to go and see the man of God. The fact of the matter is that by the end of the day, when she went back home, the man of God had come and raised her son from the dead, and her son had lived yet again. And so the fact of the matter is, I gathered all that just to tell you, you have to understand that we as Christian believers have this sort of authority, this sort of power in our words. Do you know that our situations can really, really change and become what we want them to become simply because we said so? You have to understand that she said it shall be well in the beginning. A long time ago, before anybody knew what was going on, she said it shall be well. By the end of the day, it was well. It was well because she had this faith, and she had the faith in what she said to turn around what her situation was. I said when I preached the sermon, you got to keep your problems private and your prayers public, because her prayer was that it was going to be well. That's what she told everybody. Everybody didn't know what her situation was. All they knew is that it shall be well. They didn't know the problem because the problem was locked in the room upstairs, this dead child. But they did know whatever is going on in her life, apparently it shall be well. And by the end of the day, they knew that it shall be well. You have to understand that the Bible gives us to know that you have to speak things that are not as though they were. You know, the Bible is a very, very interesting tool because it also says that before one jot of this word shall fail, heaven and earth shall pass away. The fact of the matter is, earth is obviously still here, so that means this word has yet to fail. So if it says that you can speak things that are not as though they were, we have the power to change our situations. That which is not can become that which we want it to be, simply because we said so. This week, when you run into something, when you run into a roadblock, when you run into a distraction, when you run into something that is going to hinder you from getting done what you need to get done, you have to say it shall be well. And I guarantee you, by the end of the day, that situation, that dead situation, should be alive again, and you will be forever grateful. You'll be forever fine. And so therefore, you have the power in your mouth to say what you need. So if you need it, say it.
Hey guys, so we're back from the break. As you can see, we have some more guests sitting on the couch. So to the right of me, we have
Ronnie Action, how y'all doing?
and
Devontae Green.
Okay, so who are you guys? How do you guys incorporate to this campus? What do you guys do? What are your part of?
I'm a member of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
I'm also a member of Fitness Fanatics.
Okay.
We
If
got
I
there.
We there.
I'm almost there.
Yeah, I think that's about all the orgs I'm in.
Okay. And for you?
Well, I don't go here yet,
Interesting.
but I donated almost everything into Central State University. I participate in a lot of events, a lot of off-campus events and on-campus events. Part of the basically roller skating associated along here.
Brushroll rollers.
Yeah,
Shout out to y'all.
Get yourself together. Get it together. Get
Okay,
yourself
and Ron, we know that I've seen you very active on Twitter this semester. So you got a lot of things going on. You give back to the community. That's been good. What have you done so far?
Well, so far I'm trying to. My latest project is the towing situation we're going through. Basically, what I'm trying to do is enlighten all the students because it's in the student code of conduct book. But I just want to make sure you guys know that, so you don't be, when your car gone, you don't be confused and everything. So I think that's what I'm working on right now. That's one of my biggest projects. But first feeding, the hunger. I feel like people, take your ideas and make it theirs because I looked up and I saw some despo. They need to be feeding us the real food before they be trying to feed anybody else. But that's a different situation.
At
Sodexo, as we've been doing every
Sodexo, we on
every-
y'all
We
next.
really
We at y'all
been
next,
on y'all
bro.
next.
Get it
Definitely on
together.
y'all. We definitely on y'all. Man.
I'll fire
Yeah,
y'all
right.
if I was a manager, to be honest. But Central State deserves better.
They get them cups.
I gotta look at 10 cups just to find one good clean cup.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I thought I was the only one.
Don't get me started on Sodexo, because I go in. I go in.
So, with being as active as you guys are within Central State and the community, how big are you guys on relationships, not only within your peers, within student faculty, and just everybody that helps you out? How do you guys, I guess, recommend building relationships with people, and how have those relationships helped you out in being successful?
well, I feel like, it took me some time to build my relationships because the Dean of Students last year was Dean Stinnett. I actually got kicked out of the school for fighting. And he gave me a second chance and he actually let me back. So that was my favorite dean. But our new dean of students, Miss Stevenson, she's pretty cool. So I feel like it's all who you know. I already knew Dr. Russell. Yeah, I already knew Dr. Russell. He was gonna be on his stuff when he first got here. So he don't play a zero tolerance guy. So it's a good thing to see. There's less fights here. Well, the ones that we don't hear about. But I just feel like once you get to know those higher up people, it'll make you succeed a lot better because you'll know who to run to when it's a problem. So I just try to get involved with everybody I possibly can.
And for you?
Visiting down here has made me want to come down here. I met a few higher up people, just these past couple of months visiting down here. It made me really change myself into succeeding more, kind of carry myself more, try to lead myself in the ways that most black people don't in the community. Just trying to hold myself and stay on the right path, basically.
Any more questions for this one? I don't think so. Well, we really appreciate having you guys on the show, and it was nice getting to talk to you guys. This is an example of a successful black man right here.
Yes, as
Successful
we
black
said
man,
a
okay?
couple shows before, a successful black man.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
we would love to have you anytime for sure.
I'm coming back.
For sure.
Ooh,
Y'all heard that.
he coming
And
back.
shout out
for
to
you.
Boston's in Action. I really appreciate you guys for having me. I really appreciate the
Big
recognition.
Thank you.
I've really been, trying my best to make sure everybody cool on campus. There's a lot of people that don't do that. We got Mr. C issues and Mrs. C issues for, no reason. Because I ain't heard yet him or her saying anything about this towing situation. It's always just make it what you make it. But I can't make it if I ain't got a car. So,
Dang.
I mean, people
Dang.
just need to be responsible for their positions. That's not a shot. It's not, being disrespectful. It is what it is. You know where to find me. Thank you all.
All right, and after the break, we'll come back at you just the fan by herself, and we're gonna roll it over.
Alright, what's up, y'all? This is Blake Spalding, and you're watching Action Time. So today we're gonna start off with our men's basketball team. Last Sunday they won against OU Eastern, 107-84. We was led by a senior Dwight Richards with 31 points. Then junior point guard Tom Johnson recorded his first ever double-double with 11 points and 14 assists. And then shortly after that, we dropped 2 games against SIAC rivals Albany State and Fort Valley State. And next we'll be playing another SIAC rival, Lane College. Now we switch to the women's program, who lost 2 close games against California University of Pennsylvania and then also Albany State. But then they bounced back. With a big time win against Fort Valley State, 66-52. They had a big spark off the bench from Kennedy London with 16 points, and then senior Chevelle Cox recorded her 4th double-double of the season with 11 points and 19 rebounds. Their next game will also be against Lane College later this week. And next, we also would like to congratulate Raymond Cure, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, as he's going to Nationals for cross country December 1st. So if you see him around campus, wish him luck. This is Blake Spalding, and thank you.
Hey guys, so this has been a very interesting show. We had 3 guests and 1 video. That's spectacular. And all of our segments today, I'm just so proud of everyone. You guys did amazing, and this was an amazing show. How do you guys feel?
I feel great about this. I like
we
this
only
show.
come up, but we're
I love
never
this
coming
show.
down.
I feel tired.
Ever.
It was a great show. A lot of emotions.
It was so much emotions. Can we see another hug for the
Can
camera?
we get a family hug for the camera? Bye, guys. Okay, guys, as you can tell, we're back. Hold on, my nephew ain't ready. You ready, honey?
You guys, fun, man.
All right, guys, as you can see, we're back from the break, and we have some more guests on our couch. To the
2
right, we
guests
have.
in 1 show. What's your name?
What's your name?
My name is Ronnie.
Ronnie.
My name is Ronnie Axon.
Okay. And
My name is Jeff.
your name is Jeff? Oh, y'all so cool.
Oh, no, my name